This is the Insta360 X5 and this is the Insta360 X6. So does shorter and fatter equal better? In this rare instance, yes. I've been using the X6 for about a month now and I'm going to tell you everything there is to know and how it compares with the X5 along with dozens of side-by-side comparisons, all the specs, everything that's new with this camera, the good and the bad. Getting straight into it, the X6 features new larger 1.1-inch sensors, 10-bit color, a much longer battery life, internal storage. It can shoot 8K at 50 frames per second, shoot 360 photos at 120 megapixels, shoot single lens video at 5K at 60 frames per second, and it comes with a slew of software upgrades, including some new AI editing features. So to be completely upfront, obviously Insta360 has given me this camera before release so I can use it, review it and show you guys. But let me tell you now, no one has told me what to say. Always tell anyone who gives me cameras that I'm going to say what I want. So yeah, I'm going to show you as much as I can and you can decide what you want to do. Should you upgrade if you already own an X5? Well, this is what we're going to look at in this video. But right off the bat, let's get into some video comparisons between these two cameras. I've gone out shooting in various situations. In fact, quite a lot of cool locations. I went to Norway recently, which is a beautiful, beautiful country. Took both cameras so we can see some side-by-side shots here. The X6 features two larger 1-1.1-inch sensors compared to the 1-1.2-inch sensors in the X5. So this is about 20% larger, and the larger sensors mean more light, and therefore usually better quality, particularly in low light, darker scenarios. Now, just to be clear, when I do these comparisons, I shoot side by side at the same time. When I'm editing, I select the same editing options, the same field of view. I go into the studio, select my first keyframe linear. So the zoom is exactly the same as well. So we're doing a very fair comparison. Now, looking at some daylight comparison videos, the difference between the cameras isn't super dramatic. The X5 was already pretty good at shooting 8K 360 video. And the X6 doesn't have leaps and bounds better quality than the X5 in these very favorable conditions. But you can notice a difference. The X5 footage looks to me more natural, retains more details. There's less aggressive artificial sharpening, which has always been an issue with Insta360 cameras. And if you zoom into like the fine details of the grass, the trees, the clouds, these are reproduced more convincingly. There's less overexposure, particularly in scenes with a mixture of strong highlights and darker foregrounds. Now, you may have noticed I was using quite a good tool there to compare the two videos. This is actually a tool I've made on my website. You can see the link below. My camera comparison tool where I've uploaded videos and photos and screenshots of the X6 versus the X5, also the Osmo 360 and GoPro Max 2. So after you've watched this video, go to the link in the description and you can go and use that tool to compare for yourself and have a proper look at the videos and photos side by side. And all the comparisons are shot at the same time and at the same location. Moving on to some low light, darker scenarios. The advantage of the larger lenses and the 10-bit video really comes into focus here. The X6 produces less noise, holds onto more color, and preserves a wider range between the shadows and the highlights. Darker areas to me look cleaner. Street lights and illuminated signs keep their sharpness. Both cameras have their pure video mode, which is basically the night mode, and that makes a big difference when shooting in dark conditions, as you can see. But no matter which mode you use, the X6 comes out on top. If you are regularly shooting scenes at nighttime, at dusk, surrounded by city lights, sunsets, indoors, then the X6 is going to be a significant upgrade. Now, as I mentioned, the X6 is the first Insta360 camera to shoot 10-bit video. And what that means, if you don't know, 8-bit video can shoot around 16.7 million colors, whereas 10-bit video can shoot around 1 billion colors, or it can capture 1 billion colors. That doesn't mean that every shot is 120 times better in the X6 when it comes to color, but when you shoot at dusk, when there's a big difference in color in the sky, in blue hour, in golden hour, then this is where you do see the difference. The X5, you can kind of see this banding where the colors quickly change, whereas in the X6, the color gradient is a lot smoother and a lot more attractive. Shooting at 10-bit also gives you more room for color correction. So if you like to go in and edit the color of your videos, the X6 is going to give you a lot more options. It's going to retain a lot more information. Pretty much every shot from the X6 that I'm showing you in this video was shot in 10-bit, so bear that in mind. You don't really need to do any extra work for it to make a difference, but it can result in some longer export times, which I will get into when we talk about the software. Another major upgrade to the video, and something that people have been waiting for, is an upgrade in the frame rate at the maximum resolution. The X6 can shoot 8K 360 video at 50 frames per second compared to 30 frames per second in the X5. This gives the X6 the ability to shoot smoother motion, smoother moving videos, and a bit more flexibility for slow motion as well. The benefit will become more obvious if you attach your camera to your bike, motorbike, skis, if you're running, if you're off-roading, if you attach it to your car, surfing, kite. I mean, people do crazy things with these cameras. So anything where you're moving quickly, the 50 frames per second is going to make a difference. More frames per second means more smoother video and less motion blur. There's also a bit of a limitation, 50 frames per second regionally. That fits neatly into the UK PAL video format, but it's less convenient if you shoot for the USA, which has a 60 Hz NTSC. So it might cause some flickering, especially in artificial lights, because the lights in the US and other countries flicker at 60 Hz. So when capturing at 50 frames per second, you may notice some flickering with artificial lights or phones or screens. But for any daytime shots, it's not going to really cause a problem. But the option for shooting 8K 60 would have been much more convenient for most people. For the X6, Insta360 has also introduced a new shooting mode called Dolby Vision. Now, I wasn't sure what this was really, but apparently it's basically kind of like a HDR mode. It's supposed to optimize brightness and contrast for every scene. But I've not found much use for it, primarily because it depends on the kind of screen you have, whether it's going to be visible. So it's not actually usable visible, depending on what kind of screen you're viewing it on. I think it works on most iPhones, but on many laptop and desktop screens, you're not going to be able to see a difference. And even when I did get to view it, I didn't notice a huge difference. In fact, I found it to be a little bit more overexposed than the normal mode. So I personally, unless I'm doing it wrong and unless I'm missing something, I personally wouldn't use this Dolby Vision right now. Also, a strange downgrade that I've noticed is that with the X5, you could shoot 11K time lapses, which I really like time lapses and 360 videos. They can, with the reframing and the movement, you can really make a dynamic looking time lapse very easily. However, the X6, as far as I know, can only shoot 8K resolution time lapses, 8K. So for some reason, that has been downgraded. Maybe it's a limitation with the lenses, the chips, I don't know. The time lapses still look good, and because of the larger sensor, you're still going to probably have a better looking time lapse, especially at nights. But yeah, just a bit of an odd downgrade. In terms of video quality, there is a decent upgrade. It's not absolutely massive. This is not a huge jump, but the addition of 10-bit video, 50 frames per second, and the larger sensor, this is pretty much all we could have expected in just 1 year from the last cameras. If you skip the X5 and you still had one of the older cameras, or this is your first Insta360, then yes, it's a big upgrade compared to 2 years ago. Now, looking at photos, there's also been a quite significant upgrade there. I don't particularly use these cameras for photography that much, but for those who do, the X6 can shoot 120 megapixel photos compared to 72 in the X5. Now, megapixels aren't everything, but it does help create a sharper image, especially if you want to crop in and just select one section of your image. Also, the larger sensor doing a good job at night, once again, to capture more color, less noise, better dynamic range, etc. So comparing the two side by side, I can definitely see an improvement there. Now I'm going to get back into some of the other video modes and features in a second, but let's just take a look at the obvious big change, which is the size difference. The X5 longer, thinner, and the X6 shorter and fatter. Is that good? Is that bad? Well, it depends, I guess, how you're going to use it. I personally, not sure if I love it, and I'll tell you why. My main issue with the design change and the size change is that the physical buttons that were below the screen have gone. So now it's a full touch screen. There's no shutter button. The shutters are actually kind of, you have to touch the screen. There's a haptic feedback now, it vibrates. So the screen is larger and I guess a little bit more responsive, but I do miss having that physical shutter button because I often don't know if I've actually started recording or not. So that is a downer for me. Overall, the size, I do like the small size. It does easily fit in your hand. If it's in your pocket, easier than this slightly more candy bar, longer shaped. The main issue with the design change is accessory compatibility. Now, there is obviously quite a big difference here. So some of the accessories that cover the whole body of the X5 are not going to be compatible with the X6. That includes the battery, that includes a dive case. You'd have to get a new dive case, which those are not cheap. The things that just attach to the bottom here, like the invisible selfie sticks, are all going to be still compatible. But I know there are going to be people who are annoyed at the constant changing of the sizes and having to buy more accessories. Talking of the dive case, the X6 is also waterproof without a dive case, up to 20 meters. But I've said this for the past few generations, there is no point taking this underwater unless you have the dive case because of the refraction. It doesn't capture underwater footage very well. You really need that dive case to create clean, good looking underwater video. The biggest upgrade for me in terms of design and a fact that I can forgive everything else for is the X6 has 47 gigabytes of internal memory, so without needing an SD card, and I am so happy about this. Primarily because I'm very forgetful, and it has happened more than one occasion, many more than one occasion actually, that I have left my SD card in a reader and gone out to shoot with my camera and it's just not been in there. Another mode that's been upgraded is the Insta360 mode, which was a new mode that came with the X5. This is a basically no editing mode. Basically, you can choose whether to track you, to track a specific person, to shoot forward, backwards, side to side. It basically means you don't have to edit anything. It allows you to get usable footage without having to go into the editing process. It just spits out a ready to upload non-360 video. A couple of other things to consider. The battery life of the X6 is significantly better by about 20%, and I have tested that. I shot a time lapse with both cameras at the same time, going for around 2 hours. The X5 ran out of battery and the X6 had about 25-30%, I do believe. So definitely an improvement in the battery. So there's a lot to say about these cameras as usual, but we've done with the hardware. Let's talk about the software, because there's actually been some upgrades in terms of automatic editing. There's something now called an AI director. Basically, if you turn this on, go out and shoot all day, if you're on holiday, skiing, whatever you're doing, then come home, plug it in, plug your camera in overnight. The AI director will try and create at least a vlog style video or a highlight video. Say when you connect your phone to the camera, that video should be available. So again, this is an AI feature, and here's an example of something that was created using that AI director. And you know, it's not too bad, it's not awful, but to be honest, I would just rather much do these things myself. You're not going to find me giving a lot of praise to these AI features because, to be honest, if you just learn how to edit yourself, you're going to do a better job. This isn't too bad, but I think 99% of the time we can be a bit more creative than this, and sometimes it really didn't work at all. And even in this video, there's kind of some pointless parts, and also the music is always kind of copyrighted. It's always kind of a pop song that it puts in there, so you're not going to be able to use this on YouTube, maybe Instagram and TikTok. But yeah, it's not too bad. It's getting smarter and smarter, but I'd rather do the editing myself and keep some of that creativity. And I should say that the AI director is coming to both cameras, so it should be in the X5 as well once the update becomes available. However, the desktop studio I found to be very frustrating this time around. I don't know if it's because of the 10-bit video, maybe the files are larger, I don't know. Try and export video shot with the X6, it's taking a very, very, very long time in the Insta360 studio, which is my preferred way of editing. I have a reasonably powerful laptop, not the most powerful, but compared to exporting X5 video, it's at least twice as slow. So yeah, not good for me. Otherwise, there's not really that much to say. They both use the same software. They both have all the same options. I don't believe there's anything in the X6 in the phone or desktop app that is not accessible at the same as the X5. Although what I will say about the Insta360 app is that it is still far ahead of the competition in terms of features and editing and what you can do, but it is extremely bloated at this point. And to be honest, if you want to do any editing, you need to download your footage to the phone or use the card reader, because otherwise it just doesn't work. And even some of the AI functions, to be honest, pretty much all the AI functions I found in the app to be pretty much useless. But it is still ahead of the competition when it comes to features like editing and tracking. So that's been a long video. I've tried to give you as much information as possible. Should you upgrade if you have the X5? I mean, it's not absolutely necessary, but there are some significant upgrades. The X6 isn't a cheap camera either. Like most technology, things are getting more and more expensive. I'd also say that the limitations of camera technology now, I don't know if we're going to be able to get much more out of these cameras in the coming years. So yeah, it's going to be future-proof, I think, for at least 2 or 3 years. I can't imagine much more coming out of these cameras. 10, 12K video is not going to happen anytime soon. But the reason I shoot so many side-by-side comparisons is so that you can decide for yourself, really not trying to tell anyone what to do. Okay guys, so that's it. That's my X6 versus X5. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is a decent upgrade? As I mentioned, there's going to be another comparison video between this, the Osmo 360 and GoPro Max 2. And you can also check out that comparison tool in the description. About 5 or 6 more videos coming with the X6 in the next few weeks, so subscribe if you want to see more on that. So I hope that's been useful. Until next time, guys, I'll see you around. Bye.